All right, so see if this works. All right, so lesson learned: do not face the sun, because the iPad will get on fire and shut down. Oh man. All right, so let's see if this works. Hey, what's up, dude? Cool.
We're back.
What's up, dude? So, lesson learned.
What happened?
Keep the iPad in the shade, because the iPad's gonna get too hot and then it's gonna shut down.
Oh.
Yeah. So
yeah.
it's actually I have it next to this box. So I bought Elijah a slingshot, and we made a homemade.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So now I'm using this box to kind of shade the.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I kind of want to keep the outdoor theme. So.
Your iPad doesn't appreciate grounding as much as you,
huh? Dude, seriously. But,
I don't know where I lost you. I kind of, you froze for a little bit, and then I just kept talking as if you could hear me. And as
no,
if
yeah. So we were talking about blending the two worlds as far as conventional training, and then getting into the more free flow, intuitive, inner light training. Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of it dovetailed into a lot of my own self growth, and what I continued to say was that. Early on, I really had this imposter syndrome because I was like bridging the gap between personal training, strength training, and yoga. I was doing both, and I was kind of the first in my group or in my area that was really kind of dabbling in both. And so in the beginning, I felt I had that imposter syndrome big time, because I wasn't tracking metrics and nothing was quantitative with my training. We're going to do X% at this week and then shift up. It was like, hey, person in front of me, human being, how are you today?
Yeah.
How's your stress? How's your body? Like real life, the people that I'm seeing, and just kind of going from there. So when I saw that I wasn't tracking things and doing things like trainers around me, and additionally on the same side, the other side of the same coin, in the yoga classes, I wasn't teaching the same way that yoga teachers were, my fellow yoga teachers were teaching. And so on both sides, I felt like an imposter, because I was kind of straddling the line between training and yoga, until I started to realize that I was actually bringing value to both circles. I was bringing elements of strength and mobility into yoga classes that people hadn't had much exposure to at the time. And at the same time, I would get new clients who it was interesting. I had this kind of like yoga approach, and I could kind of ease them into these ideas of strength training to people who might be a little bit more intimidated by free weights or being in a gym, because I could kind of ease them in using yoga lingo, or maybe they knew me in the yoga setting, and I built trust and rapport with them there. And then all of a sudden I could say, hey, why don't you come to my gym and I'll teach you how to deadlift, which would be extremely intimidating for people with no exposure. But I was able to kind of bring them together. And so that imposter syndrome began to dissolve, and I began to trust my own intuition, my own judgment, and realize, okay, I wasn't doing what all of these trainers were doing, and I wasn't teaching the way that all of these yoga teachers were doing. But what I was delivering still had a lot of value to people, and just connecting to real people. And so then I started to really, really delve into that, like really double down on like, this is how I teach. If I do a consultation with a new client, I tell them, I'm terrible at counting. We'll count on the system. What we're really trying to do and I don't know if we got cut off, is help them build their own intuitive practice. Help be their guide to hone that skill of listening to their body, to understand what is enough, what is too much, what is not enough, and how you strength train to build strength. It's not as sexy as you may want it to be, but it's possible. You can regress things, you can make it interesting, and rather than being a coach that, you know, I think I don't, you may have been frozen the last time I said this, but it's like give a man a fish.
Yeah.
Give a person a fish, feed them for a day, teach a person how to fish, and then you feed them for the rest of their life. So that's the role I want to be in with my students' life. Give them the skills to tune in, to then be able to move throughout their world and enjoy movement, not have it be this like task that they've got to check off in the day, just mindlessly complete it. Instead, you know, go out like you do and climb a tree because you enjoy it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. No,
Monkey with your kid because you enjoy it.
Yeah. I was in the same boat as you as far as getting into more of the like ground-based movement and like natural movement type training and stuff. Because it's like, for me, I was like, oh shoot, okay, I enjoy this stuff. I like all this ground stuff. So like for the longest time, I would still practice all my ground-based movement stuff at the gym I rented space at. But then I would teach people just the basics of like say like the original strength resets and stuff, the natural development sequence for the ground-based stuff. But I wouldn't get into like the whole cool like more capoeira animal flow style. I would just make them do the basics and stuff. And then finally something clicked. I was like, dude, if I enjoy it, let me just see if they like it. You know what I'm saying? And then once I just kind of dived into it, it's like, okay, cool. And then plus too, like no one at our gym, well, they don't really do the stuff I do. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I should be having my clients do this stuff because they're not doing it with their clients. I don't know if I should do it. You know what I'm saying? But then eventually I was like, I like this. This is me. Let me just see if my clients like it. Right. So but and like most of them, like especially with like the get ups, like basic ground based stuff, like just getting up from the ground like this and just fluidly getting up. I had this one. I'm still training him virtually, but when I first met him, like 50s, like straight up, like grew up in the 80s, like golden era of fucking bodybuilding. So then for me, I was like, oh shoot, I'm not too sure if he's gonna like all this ground based stuff. Let's just stick to very conventional training. But eventually I was like, you know, fuck it, dude. I'm just gonna have this guy do basic get-ups. And then so like basic tripod get-ups. And then eventually he was like, oh man, I'm sweating. I didn't realize like how much harder this movement is, and it's fun. And then and then going back to as far as like him applying it in his real life, he was golfing with his buddies, and they're all around the same, like 50s, 60s, and then they're all sitting down, and then I guess they're drinking some beer and stuff. And then his friend got up, like he like this. He was like, 6 steps. And then my client Joe, he was like, hey, check this out. Boom, and she's got up real quick. Just one sleep. And he was like, his friend's like, what the fuck? Like, how did you do that? It's like, oh yeah, this it's my coach too. We just do like all this weird shit, like just getting up.
Yeah, but it becomes applicable.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, but then it's all like I had that barrier in my head thinking that people won't like it without even introducing it to them, right? So so that's same thing with you. I guess borderline imposter syndrome, but also like, oh shoot, I'm not too sure if these people will like it. It's like, how do you know, dude? Just ask them.
Yeah. Totally. I had that same resistance because I was in a small personal training gym similar to where you are, and same thing. I was the oddball. They would call me the monkey guy because we had a TRX rig, and I'd always just brachiate like monkey bar and hang and spin, and then I was kind of the first person that started to, in that gym anyways, to start crawling and getting my clients to do all of these ground-based quadruped crawling patterns. And it, I got a lot of weird looks at first. Yeah. And it kind of takes that like, well, screw you, I'm going to do what I do. Yeah. And, finally the culture kind of shifted. More trainers were starting to do that. More clients were becoming interested in, well, what are you doing? And to have an answer, I think helps. Not just like, well, I don't know, I'm just doing this thing,
Yeah,
but to explain that, for example, your client, you know, well, these get-ups, this is a practical motion. You know, you may need to use this someday. And I teach those get-ups to my 84-year-old client because that could be life-saving, literally life-saving for him. And we just do all of these movements. So it's funny, those ground-based movements, they seem odd, they seem weird, especially when you do them in a gym setting, because there's this notion, this idea that you have to be doing the bodybuilding style of exercises. But what ends up being a benefit of those movements is those patterns start to show up in your daily life, just like your client. And I love those stories, by the way. I've got some of those from my clients too. And then you start to appreciate what your body can do. And if you can't do it, then you know, oh, okay, I just got to work on this. And then you got all these tools, right? Your clients now, you've taught them how to do all of these ground-based movements and natural movement. We can't go into gyms right now. So now you can do all of this stuff out in a park or in your living room or backyard or wherever. You can't be like, oh, I'm not fit because I can't go to my gym. Just like you go out to a park, you hang on a tree, you know, we can still move. We don't have to be confined to the gym or to the yoga studio or wherever it is to get your movement in. It can just be everywhere in your life.
No, straight up, dude. Because then even going into once they start diving into more like natural movement and natural movement practice, and even like climbing trees. So I've been like climbing trees ritualistically for the past almost like 2 years now. And then at first, I don't know, I was like, oh shit, look at the tree, let me climb it. And then I was like, oh shit, let me record my fucking tree climbing and then post it on Instagram. And I'm in my head, I was like, oh shoot, I'm the only one that climbs trees, dude. Like I was getting shit from like my friends and stuff, and like my girlfriend's friends. My girlfriend's like, what are you doing in trees, dude? It's like, that was fun, dude. So, and then now
now you have Mowgli squad, right?
Mowgli gang, dude. There's like 13 of us, dude. Just tree climbers from like New York, freaking Dallas, Portugal and shit. I was like, so it's like that lesson too is also like, there's always someone who's into the same stuff as you like, even though if you think it's like weird and shit, right? So but and then going back to the whole being kind of, I guess, a trailblazer, right? With like the whole ground-based movement and stuff. In my gym, now that like Animal Flow and like all these other ground-based movement systems are kind of picking up steam. Now it's like, hey, dude, I saw these people doing what you're doing. They're fucking taking your shit. Then I was all like, I actually learned from them and other people. So like I actually got stuff from other people and I put it to my own practice. So it's like I didn't invent it. It's just I took from what I learned from others, right? So, but it's like just like me having the courage to fuck it, dude. I'm just gonna do it because I enjoy it. Now it's like whenever people see other similar movements, like, hey, dude, that's Serge's movement, but basically it's not mine, right? You know what I'm saying? But
no.
But it's just like having the courage to kind of just be weird, I guess. All right,
dude, we have to be the trailblazers in that respect, right? Because our clients who have never done any of this, they're gonna feel awkward and odd and feel like they're gonna look silly doing this. So we have to be the first ones to take the step and say, hey, I'm gonna be that first weirdo. To do this, and then all of a sudden it becomes more normal. You ever see that YouTube video, the first follower, whatnot, the crazy guy dancing at some festival? I mean, he's like really crazy looking. Everyone's like, what the heck? And then one guy joins it, and then it's just a swarm of people. It's a really awesome video on just like social psychology. But it's kind of like that. You got to be that lone nut. They use that term, the lone nut that's just wacky, and then you get your first follower. And then once you get that first follower, then it's like this social proof, like, oh, this is a thing that now people do.
Like, I guess it's okay, right? Oh shit, you know what? This is kind of fun, dude.
It's really funny, but to give people that permission too, and it's injecting this sense of play and curiosity back into movement, which I think helps take it away take the chore element out of movement. You know, oh, I gotta go run. I gotta go do this. I gotta go work out. I gotta do these reps. Versus like, I see you out in the park all the time, like loving it. I mean, I'm sure there are days we all feel like, oh, I gotta do this, but for the most part, you're out because you love it and it feels good and it brings you joy.
That's what I'm just telling my client too, because we're up in Elk Grove at our home now. So freaking we have my little garage gym. I have kettlebells and everything like that. And then I was talking to Jess last week with my other talk, basically kind of injecting your positive high to kind of start up a strength training routine or a session. Because for me, like there's days where like, fuck, dude, I kind of want to lift, but I kind of want to, you know what I'm saying? Kind of dragging. Yeah. I was turning on some music, and then I would start doing some capoeira moves, some ground-based stuff. Then I was like, all right, cool. And then I'm feeling kind of good, getting the blood flowing. All right, I'm already moving. Let's go lift some fucking kettlebells. Yeah, so it's like kind of injecting more of a kind of same thing, kind of free-flowing into a more structured session, right? So
exactly. Yeah. That's a good good point that you bring up. That ground-based stuff. You know, it's nice because it can be scalable, and maybe you just start with just that. Yeah, you know, you're like, oh, I know this. If I do these one or two moves, I know that my body's going to feel a little bit better. Yeah. But that might kickstart you into like a whole training session too that maybe you weren't planning on, or perhaps you didn't have the motivation for. Yeah. So it's a nice way to kind of ramp into. You know, if I'm dragging ass, I'll do the same thing. Like back when I was going to the gym, like, oh, I don't want to do anything today. Let me just go through a couple of crawls. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, like all systems online. Okay. All right. I'm feeling it. Same thing with you. Like, all right, time to hit the weights now. So it's a nice way to do that. So yeah, it's very cool. And I try to bring some of those ground-based movements into my yoga classes. I do a weekly yoga class, and then or Yogohana. Oh yeah. So I bring some stuff that's you wouldn't normally see in a yoga class into that, to just kind of stir the pot a little bit, you know, because people are coming to that, and already it's not a serious yoga class because it's beer, DJ, and yoga. Yeah, yeah. So we're already like not your typical yoga class, and excuse me. But for the yogis who come, I try to throw in stuff that's not yoga. So they're like, wait, what is this? It's easy to just get in like, oh, this is I know this movement. Just, you know, every movement, system, philosophy, modality has their like, this is what I do, and this serves all of my needs, and this and that. So I like to break the mold for the yogis a little bit, but then it allows, I think it creates an opening for people who have not done yoga to realize, oh, even the yogis don't know what's going on. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I'm a beginner, and I feel like I have a place here.
That's actually how I felt when it came to the first event. Like I already knew, knowing you, Brandon, and Don, right? Like I was like, okay, I already know it's gonna be pretty chill and fun. But I in my head, I was like, oh shit, I'm not really a yoga practitioner. Let me see how this goes. But then, like when I went through it, I was like, oh shit, okay. Like I actually felt like included, or like there's very inclusive environment to your yoga hana event. You know what I'm saying? Because plus like there's music going on, and like the black lights and stuff. So I was like, okay, this isn't like, all right, Zen action where you gotta dive deep into your inner being kind of stuff, right? Yeah. Consciously. So, but then no, it's crazy too, like going into like identity as far as like, okay, so now that animal flow is kind of blowing up, it's like, oh, I just do animal flow. I do animal flow. Or like going to capoeira. When I first started learning capoeira, I was like, some of the movements like, oh shit, this is the stuff I learned doing animal flow. Then my Galo, my instructor's like, oh yeah, it's pretty much same thing but different. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, oh, but which came first though? Then I was like, capoeira.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but then so that's the kind of whole thing, like with some capoeiristas with like animal flow. It's like, oh shit, like why are they stealing our stuff? Blah blah blah. Kind of like tribe mentality, right?
Yes.
And, vice versa, like say like original strength, they do kind of side kick throughs also. And then I see people saying like, oh yeah, this is a jujitsu inspired kick through, side kick through. It was like, no, man, that's a side kick through. It's just you're moving your leg, right? You know what I'm saying?
It's funny. I know. And as we explore different movement modalities, I mean, that's something Don and Brandon and I always laugh at, because we're all kind of contrarians, the three of us.
Yeah.
And so anytime it gets real tribal or like our way is the only way, all you need, it's like, oh brother, come on. Like, we're all learning from each other. We all are doing similar things.
Yeah.
I recently before all this happened, I recently started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh yeah, I saw that, dude.
Never done a martial arts before. And like, things are coming up like, oh, this moves like a Turkish get-up. Oh, this is a side kick through. Oh, like these things, you start to see all of the overlap and realize like movement is just movement.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't care what system it's coming from. It's just like your body doesn't know when it's doing it. It's like, oh, this is animal flow or this is capoeira. It's like, oh, this just feels good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just the movement, you know, it's the same language.
Yeah.
But we have all of these like these dialects based on the system. But I think it's just so funny when people get so, like you said, tribal about it. Like, that's our thing.
Yeah.
You benefit from it, right? It feels good when you do it. So, okay, who cares if somebody calls it a different thing and they find the same joy or satisfaction from it. Maybe their approach lands better with somebody else. And so here you are, you're getting to spread this movement pattern through a wider group of people by teaching it in different ways.
Yeah.
It's just so, I think it's so silly though, and you're like, this is it. You know, there's the movement culture.
Yeah.
Movement. And it's just so dogmatic and exclusive.
Yeah.
You know?
It's crazy when you say movement culture, it's like a bicycle curls movement. You know what I'm saying? It's movement. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Bodybuilding is movement patterns. Bodybuilding is the culture, so they're included in the movement culture stuff. Yeah. And then I was kind of I'm kind of guilty of it too, right? So like there's a time where it's like, oh shit, okay, I'm just gonna do movement. Fuck fucking bicep curls. Oh, that's just.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do any tricep extensions. You know what I'm saying? And then later it's like, why was I just compartmentalizing things? And like, I wasn't like shunning people for doing bodybuilding. I was just more of like, okay, the identity. I am now part of the movement culture. And you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I was the same.
Yeah, it's like movers don't do bicep curls. That in my head, right? It's like, what? Why not? You know what I'm saying?
Why not? Yeah, I did the same thing. There were probably years that I didn't have bicep curls in my program at all.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny though how that can shift. Because I started, I'm sure a lot of us as trainers have the same origins. I started doing a lot of bodybuilding stuff because that's all there was for a while. Yep. And then so I think just like a pendulum swinging, you kind of go one way and then you go the other. And now I've settled back and like, I'll do curls now. You know why? Because it supports other stuff. It supports my radiation. It supports my elbow health for grappling now. You start to find where all of these pieces fit in the larger puzzle. That maybe we were too myopic in our tribalistic thinking to go, oh yeah, I could use that over here. It's so funny though.
And then it goes back into like identity. It's like who do you see yourself as, like, and then who do you think your tribe is, right? You know what I'm saying? So
and I think it's been magnified with social media too, because to get to be heard, you have to kind of take this hard stance on like, I teach this, I do this, fuck everything else. This is not, all of this other stuff is wrong. This is the right way. Maybe you're trying to get more followers or likes, sell a product, and to be this person in the middle that goes, oh yeah, I see you guys doing that over there. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I do some of that. Oh, you're doing this over there. Cool. Yeah. It's harder. I think it's forced people into what I see anyways. It seems like it's forcing people to like take these really hard, rigid stances on what is right or wrong when it comes to movement and health. And I just think we're a lot more dynamic than that. And we ebb and flow, and life like this, this lockdown, life just throws us random shit, and we got to adapt. Like now there was a time that I'm like, I hate conditioning. I just want to lift and do yoga. But now like I can't go to the gym or go to the yoga studio, and so now I've been running more, and it feels good, and it's bringing me joy. So we just like let it happen.
It's adapt, nourish, and enhance, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, dude,
it's cool.
As far as like getting in, because I'm the same boat. Like getting into like just the fitness. I guess the fitness world was just trying to get buff as fuck, basically. So then and then shifting into it, my trainer, like my mentor, he gave me all of his masters in like exercise science and stuff from ASU. So he gave me all of his books, and I was like, oh shit, what the hell? There's more to it than just reps and sets. I got to know like physiology and like anatomy and stuff, because my background is communication. Yeah. So basically like I went from like marketing and well, actually, now that I am I guess solopreneur, it actually helps to have that background. But in the beginning it was just all marketing and interpersonal communication and stuff, right? So I had zero science. And then getting into it, I thought it was just like lifting heavy weight, which, that is bodybuilding volume and stuff. But getting into it, was your background basically guaranteed science that you knew you wanted to go on this path of health and fitness and just kinesiology, or?
No, not initially, actually. I did graduate with a bachelor's in science in kinesiology, specifically exercise science.
Yeah.
But I actually started as a music major.
Nice.
So I was going for my BA. I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but I had always been a band geek since I started. I've always been musical, and humming things. And as early as I can remember, I was taking piano lessons and singing in like youth choirs and things like that. I was never really amazing. I just always had a good ear and relied on that. So I never developed skills in terms of like heavy theory or anything like that. I just enjoyed music to the capacity that I wanted to enjoy it. So in 5th grade, my parents got me into band. That was kind of when band starts up.
Yeah.
I started on clarinet. And then in 7th grade, I switched over to the bassoon.
Nice.
Yeah, very, very random, very rare instrument. It was actually my uncle who recommended. He said, hey, if you're thinking about going to college and doing this, you may consider an instrument that's a little more sought after than the clarinet or
the flutophone. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So 7th grade, I switched over to the bassoon, and I played that through middle school, through high school. I was in wind ensembles. I was in marching band. I played clarinet in marching band. Can't really march with a bassoon. That's death waiting to happen. So I just fell back on that. I assumed, okay, well, I know I want to go to college. That I always knew, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So then, well, I'll just become a music major. So I got in, and I did about a year and a half of the program. And it was great. I was playing. I mean, I was a performance major. So I'm in 2 wind ensembles and the orchestra, and you're taking private lessons. At that point, like the bassoon is a double reed instrument. So they're really like oboe, right? So I got into learning how to make my own reeds, because double reeds are really specific and fickle. And I mean, I was like all things playing bassoon. But as I realized, I wasn't like super passionate about it. It was fun, and I liked playing in the group, but I just, something about it just wasn't clicking with me. And I realized at that point, I was still going to the gym a lot. That was another, I was motivated enough to be working out. My stepdad growing up was a bodybuilder.
Okay.
So at like age 13, as soon as I could, he got me going into the gym with him, really so I could be his spotter
Yeah.
when he was benching and stuff.
Yeah.
So he could just have like a spotter on command when he needed it. But I learned how to basically put together workouts, kind of the bodybuilder approach, but it got me comfortable in going to the gym. So through high school, I would go to the gym, I would bring my friends, I'd show them like little routines to do. But I went to school for music. And at that point, like a year and a half in, I realized like, oh man, I see all these people around me and they're practicing every hour of the day.
Oh shit, yeah.
And, that just wasn't me. I'd rather like go to the gym, play video games, it wasn't. So my roommate's girlfriend, his wife, she said, hey, why don't you check out kinesiology? At the time, she was an athletic trainer. I was like, what the hell is kinesiology? I've never even heard that word before. And so she's like, well, it's the studying of human movement and how the body moves and stuff. So I looked into it, and I looked at the curriculum for exercise science, and it was like exercise physiology, biomechanics, motor development, exercise psychology. I'm like, whoa, that is cool. I didn't know that was a thing. So sophomore year, I switched majors to exercise science, and then I just like fell in love.
Nice.
I had to do all the science stuff, and I loved physics and biomechanics. I really enjoyed. So then when I graduated, I just moved up to the Bay Area from Southern California and got a job at a local corporate gym, and just I thought it was going to be like a stepping stone job for me, personal training.
Yeah.
I figured like maybe I'll go into physical therapy or occupational therapy, just because they were like more esteemed than a personal trainer.
Yeah, dude.
Yet I found over the years that I felt fulfilled, and I wasn't limited by what insurance deemed the clients or patients needed. I had this kind of free reign to try any modality that my clients were willing to pay me for and to try themselves. And that was 10 years ago. I've been doing this for 10 years now. And, I'm on my own. I run my own personal training business and run my own private yoga classes and things like that. So it just, I did have a science background, but I didn't start in science. I didn't know how to do that. I wasn't an athlete growing up. I was a total band geek.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I think I do well with those types that aren't like alpha, like I need to lift. I used to play football, baseball. I'm the people that were kind of nerdy growing up, that want to use their bodies, because that was me. I was kind of like a band geek, kind of video game nerd that also just knew how to like handle myself in the gym. And so I tend to work well with those types of people.
Well, it's crazy because like going into it, because that's what I was thinking of personal training as a stepping stone too. It's like, okay, personal training, I'll probably get into, like occupational therapy or physical therapy, looking up schools and stuff. And after that, then same thing. I was like, oh shit, I fucking love this, dude. This is cool.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty great.
Yeah, and like for me, like not only the movement part, and then I geek off with like all the science and stuff now, but it's more of like the behavior change. Like I've noticed like a lot for me is what it does for your overall just mental health, and it's your behavior. Like you said, the self change, and like I'm kind of like now thinking back. In college I used to work at the library. I worked there for like almost like a year and a half, 2 years, and like we always had to go shelf read, so we had to go like put the books in order and stuff. And then I would always trade with my friends who also worked at the library. I would trade for the like psychology department. So it's like so like now you just triggered a fucking memory of me in college. Like I would always go to like, so that's where I first picked up the book EQ, like emotional intelligence.
Yep.
Yeah. So this was back in oh shit, damn, like 06, 07 was when I worked at the library. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I've been reading about just behavior and oh shit, damn, yeah, I've been reading about this stuff for a minute. So, but yeah, so even though I don't have the degree or background, like I've been actually studying about behavior and human psychology for since 06, dude. So sorry, segue. I fully just triggered something and I fucking ran with it.
No, it's so cool to bring back those memories like that. And it's so true. I mean, a lot of what we do is psychology. You know, people come to us and you know, they want the quick fix. Tell me what to do, how many reps, tell me exactly what to eat, and I just want to be skinny and feel sexy. And it's like, well, we have a lot of unpacking to do here. You don't realize like the rabbit hole that you get into when you start training, or at least going into your body, because then there's this whole like self-growth piece that happens. And I'm sure you know, if you're focusing on more people's psychology, like you really got to understand like, well, what is your deeper resistance to exercise? What draws you to eating food that you know isn't the greatest for you? Like we got to unpack that now, because that if we don't do that, you're going to keep spinning your wheel, just going into this cycle. You know, as personal trainers, we're not the quick fix that I think people would hope for, right? Just throw money at the problem and they'll yell at me and I'll be great. No, I think coaches like you and I really take the kind of the long-term approach of, hey, this isn't going to happen quickly. It will probably be uncomfortable, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. But these are the things that have to happen to get towards the results that you're actually seeking. So in a way, I mean, we wear so many hats. We're psychologists, we're therapists, we're cheerleaders, we're marriage counselors, we're you know, all of these, the drill sergeants when we need to be. But psychology, that's cool that you got into that, because I didn't have that sort of psychology background or interest. It kind of grew from my personal training. I realized, I was talking more to people about their lives and stuff. And then it kind of spawned my own self-growth. And then from there, I've been able to help more people. So, hey, what's up? Andrew, what's going on, man? So that's awesome. Yeah, that you had that interest, because clearly it's paying off, because you were able to offer that to your clients and your community.
Right on, dude. Thanks, dude. Yeah. So like, I'm actually kind of going through, because I've been working on my 12-week program for like a year and a half. I realized there's two things that kind of affected me with that was perfectionism. Well, three things: self-doubt and shiny object syndrome. So perfectionism with like this 3-month, like I've been working on this positive high lifestyle enhancement and nourishment program for a minute, and then it's like, okay, well, let me take this out real quick. No, wait. I gotta add this. Oh, wait. I gotta wait till the Christmas season is over. I missed the boat for this part. Now I gotta wait for the perfect time. And then also self-doubt, which is now for me, I had this thought this morning, as far as, because I'm gonna finally launch it in May, which I wanted to anyway. I was gonna launch. Backtrack. I was gonna launch this in July, but since the COVID-19 thing happened, and I'm not seeing people live. It's like, oh shit, universe said, dude, you gotta launch it now. So it's like, now I'm gonna launch it in May. And then now the whole thoughts recycle back of self-doubt. It's like, oh shit, it's COVID-19. Are people gonna buy it? Oh, do people have enough money? All these like stories that I'm telling in my head. But I switched it. I pivoted. I thought to myself, I'm a valuable contributor to my community. So what I offer, what I've been giving. Now it's okay to ask to receive, right? Because I haven't like actually like ran any online programs since I started my Instagram, but I'm always like DMing people, like, hey, how's it going? You know, giving. Now I got to kind of open up and realize, like, hey, you are contributing. You've been contributing. Now it's time to receive, right? Because then I guess for like me and you, like, we care, we're givers, right? So it's like we got to kind of pass the threshold of like, okay, we got to take care of ourselves. It's like, hey, time to receive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, then that goes into the change in psychology stuff. So this program is more of lifestyle enhancement and nourishment through PHS. So, which, thank you for the vote of confidence, because you're like, oh yeah, and the stuff you do is already powerful. So thanks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think more than you might even realize, like,
Yeah.
especially in this time of uncertainty, like everybody's dealing with this in a different way.
Yeah.
And it can be scary because it's just, there's so many unknowns to it.
Mm-hmm.
Will we get it? Will our health be affected? How is our job going to be affected? Is our family okay?
Yeah.
Is the economy going to survive? So just, if there's a beacon of positivity and abundance and acceptance of what's happening, I think it helps people get past kind of that panic that's easy to get like sucked into. It's like a vortex of like, ugh, I'm hearing all of this scary stuff. And it is scary, but
yeah,
I mean, we can approach it with this positivity. And the way you model that authentically, I mean, you're not putting on a show. You're just out there literally shirtless, climbing trees, playing with the sun. Like, that's you, dude.
Yeah.
And that comes through. And I think it's helpful for people to see, oh shit, like you can find joy, like you can play, you can be you, and you can find the silver lining, you can find the positivity there. And yeah, I think it's more powerful than you realize.
Yeah.
So I say go for it, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome to hear you pushed it up, because it's like at this point everything is. We were just talking to a buddy of ours who like wants to do this thing, and he's like apprehensive and he's holding back, and it's like, now is the time. There's everything is new and up in the air for everybody.
Yeah.
And so you got this unique opportunity to just fucking try it. You know, and Yoga Hana for us was that too. It was like, I don't know, we have this idea, but we want it to be just right. And our friend was like, just do it.
Yeah.
Like, fix it as you go, but just do the damn thing.
Yeah.
And we probably wouldn't have gotten off the ground if it wasn't for him just like pushing us out there.
Yeah. Like,
and here you got this.
Go, bro, let's go.
Yeah, dude, totally.
Yeah.
And here you have this pandemic, which is kind of forcing you to kind of move up your timeline. And dude, I'm sure you'll look back on this and see that it was the push that you needed to get things going and have that confidence in yourself that what you are doing is helpful to people, and they want it, and they want to support you for some.
Yeah. Nice, dude. Thanks, dude. Yeah, and then same thing with the Yoga Hana. It's like the first event I went to, I was like, oh shit, this is fucking legit, dude.
Yeah.
And then just imagine if your one friend, your homie, didn't say, hey, dude, just fucking go.
I know.
The three of you guys would have been like, oh shit. It's like, oh fuck, now the pandemic happened. We gotta wait till the pandemic's done. Yeah. So like now, actually, are you guys gonna have a virtual Yoga Hana going down, or like you guys?
Yeah, we have one tomorrow night actually. We're gonna we usually do them once a month at a local brewery. Yeah. Lately, we've been doing them at a local brewery.
Devil's Canyon or something right there. Yeah.
Yeah, Devil's Canyon's so good. And that has been very fun. So it's like a daytime event now, like a Sunday brunch kind of vibe. But now we're doing live stream, and what's unique about that is like we've had to pivot so many times with Yoga Hana, but the fact is we keep doing it and we keep changing things that don't work. And for this, for example, we had to go live stream because we can't have a bunch of people in a brewery doing yoga, but we found that it's just as fun, if not more, because the essence that we've been trying to deliver in our class is actually our personality and group, not the yoga and the lights and all the bells and whistles, not the shiny objects. It's actually us, our interaction with each other, and like what we're outputting. Yeah. And so we get to do these live stream Yoga Hana events. Now we get to see, okay, yes, I'm silly, I'm on the mic, people saw that at the brewery, but like now people get to see how Dawn and I interact, which is like an added level of entertainment. Yeah. And that's what we've been calling it, like a movement entertainment experience. Yeah. It's not just a yoga class. Like you can just sit and drink a beer and watch us and we still want it to be enjoyable. Yeah. Honestly, it's like, hey, you're an adult, or, you know, just find joy in all of this. Yeah. If it just means like sitting and doing a couple of the stretches that I show you, cool, but we're acting a fool. We're not being serious. So yeah, now we're doing it twice a week, or excuse me, not twice a week, twice a month, every other week. And we're just trying to spread our message of like, let's move together, but have fun doing it. Like we don't need to take ourselves too seriously here.
Yep.
And so I get to be a goofball like I am, and Don gets to showcase his awesomeness. Yes, his handsomeness, of course. That always helps. And we just have to. We get to hang out and we get to have a good time. So
nice. No, yeah. And then to get on the Yoga Hana with you guys, is it through a link in your bio, or like was it Zoom or?
Yeah, we have a Zoom set up, so it'll be Friday, the 17th, April 17th. If you go onto our Yoga Hana page, Yoga Hana, like yog, and then Ohana, like family, SF, Yoga Hana SF. Then we got our link in the bio, and you can join the Zoom call tomorrow night. It is all levels, because we're trying to be inclusive. Like I said, you can move as much or as little as you want, or you can yoga from your couch, with beer or whatever. Because it's just we're trying to get people exposed to it, and we have a ton of people. We've had several people at our live events say, this was my first ever yoga class, and I used to be against yoga, but this was really fun. Or I was able to follow along with it. I didn't think I'd be able to do this, and I was. And that's why we do it. Those are the people that we're trying to catch. Like the yogis, cool, come, have a great time, do your practice, or be a little unbuttoned about it. But we're trying to get the people that maybe wouldn't go to a yoga class, or they would be too intimidated to do something like that.
Because this is kind of like initial push into just movement and just mindset in general, right? You know what I'm saying? In a very comfortable setting. Because that's I mean, for you, when you said, "Oh yeah, we're just sharing ourselves," Yoga Hana is not the bells and whistles, like, which is true, because I came to your event because of you guys. Like, if I were to see like a black light yoga event, I'm like, I'm cool. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it was you guys, so it was like, hey, I love these guys. Let me support and see what they're about, right? See how they do things, and they're cool. So I guarantee fucking other people are gonna be cool, right? So like attracts like, right? So I was like, okay, and then yes, you guys attract some pretty fucking cool people. Yeah.
Well, and that was the hardest part in the beginning, was like, who are we marketing to? Because the yogis would come, and then we wouldn't be so serious about the yoga, and then they get all weird about it, and then like ecstatic dance people would come, and then they're like, there's not enough dancing in this, and so it just took us a while to like hit our stride of people that just want to move, but just not be so serious about it. And so, because we're kind of like, if we think of the Venn diagram, we're overlapping a lot of circles: yogis, non-yogis, drinkers, ecstatic dance people, exercise. We're trying to catch a lot of people that would normally be like unrelated.
I just had a thought, dude. You should just like develop a Venn diagram right there. Just boom, 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 and then right in the middle, Yoga Hana. Ooh, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Dude. Yeah, like
that's a great idea.
It's super easy, right? Just freaking Google Doc. Yeah, boom, boom, circle.
Oh my god! Why have I not thought of that?
Yeah, see? No, yeah, that'd be sick, right? Because then it's like, hey, dude, like, who do you attract? Check out this Venn diagram.
Yeah. Here's our demographic.
Yeah, seriously, boom. Do you fit in here? All right, cool. Let's go, dude. Yeah.
Dude, that is a great idea.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you, Steve. I will be working on that.
That's your idea, dude. You just fucking came up with it.
Yeah, but I didn't think to create it. I needed that little extra push to say, you should actually do that.
Yeah. No, that's it. Because even for me, my 12 people, I see the same thing with the whole self-doubt, or even like shiny object syndrome. It's like, oh, shoot, should I be more broad with my 12-week program? Like help, because initially I want to just help people enhance and nourish their life through the positive high system. And mostly I want to attract people who are just frustrated of just either always starting over, or they're just confused as fuck, right? And then basically same thing, you just a guide. I'm not I'm seeing if I want to go like overall, like, okay, if you're frustrated, confused, come see me, or if I want to do parents that are frustrated and confused. So it's like, kind of like Venn diagram action. I got to try to see, or I can just cater to both. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
yeah, why not?
But yeah, go do that Venn diagram, dude, because that'll be pretty interesting to see. Because yeah, same thing. It's like, okay, yoga hana, black lights, yoga. Okay, do it fit here? Yes, you do. Check this Venn diagram out.
Exactly. Well, yeah, for somebody who doesn't do yoga, it's like, well, black light yoga, I don't do yoga. It's like,
yeah.
Come and check it out. I'm sure you'll be surprised.
Yeah, and then I'm like the like, I can be a testimonial too if you want, dude. Like straight up, like I was like, oh shoot, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I've done yoga classes, but it's like, oh shoot, black light. Oh shoot, do I have to dance all funky? You know what I'm saying? Do I have to get out of? I don't mind, but it's like all these thoughts, right? It's like what's gonna happen? But then just releasing and saying, oh, dude, let's just go. Just go with the flow, right?
Yeah.
But then what you guys are doing is powerful, because for me is rediscover your positive high. Yeah. So like either rediscover, which is tap back into whatever gave you joy as far as movement, activity, whatever, or discover, like, hey, if you're interested in yoga, I got this group of dudes that are fucking cool. Go check out their yoga hana event, right? So like more discovering this new positive high, it's new movement. So, but yeah, dude. So tomorrow, what time?
Tomorrow, 7 to 8:30 Pacific time. I realize I have to say that now because we're streaming.
Great. Yeah.
We had some people on the East Coast join us last time for our first streaming event. So yeah, 7 to 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Just come check us out. You know, see what it's like, and you don't have to do the yoga.
Yeah, right. Oh shit,
you can just sit.
It's almost an hour, dude. Okay, so Instagram actually kicks you off at the 1 hour mark. Yeah, dude. Look at
does it?
It's 2:40, 2:38. So the last few things now, just kind of signing off. Basically, I like to ask two main questions. Is one, so your positive high, say, could be bodybuilding or even just being in band. How does that help shape your world now? Or if someone wants to get into movement, or even just enhancing their life through movement, what would you kind of give them as far as like one tip of advice?
Kind of circling back to what we started with today, and just thinking of movement more qualitatively. How does it feel? How smooth can you make it? Do things become easier over time? And just letting go of all the numbers all the time, and just inhabit your body and let it be the guide for a little bit.
Okay, nice, dude. Yeah. And then number two is basically, if someone wants to work with you besides Yoga Hana, how would they reach you, and what kind of services are you providing, and all the good stuff?
Oh yeah. Well, if you're interested in my services, I do a lot of strength and mobility coaching. Right now, I'm doing Zoom sessions with clients. You can find you can DM me on my page here. I have some links of things. I'm also hosting a bi-weekly yoga class. A weekly yoga class, Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon. The Zoom link is also in my bio there. You can try it out for free for a week and check it out, see if my vibe works for you. Just shoot me a DM on Instagram, and I check those, so you can.
Right on, dude. So we got Yoga Hana tomorrow.
Yep, Yoga Hana.
Yoga Tuesday, Thursday. Check out your Zoom. 1 week for free. Yep. If you want to dive deeper into movement, strength training, mobility, you can do some Zoom training one-on-one. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right on, dude. Yeah. So, I got 1 minute. So thank you so much, dude. Appreciate you so much. I'm gonna DM you right after this. Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
Anything else you want to say? Any one last word or words of wisdom to the peeps, or?
Dude, I just want to thank you for doing this and staying connected with everybody and providing that positivity to us, all of your community. It really does help more than you know.
Okay, right on, dude. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, and then I'm going to put your stuff on YouTube. So this whole interview is going to be on my YouTube.
Awesome.
I launched that bad boy. So yeah, it'll be up by the end of the day. So if you guys just joined us, if you guys want to listen to Tony speak, hit up Positive High System YouTube. Yeah. But yeah, dude, I'll hit you up in the DMs right after this. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Right on, man.
I don't want to get kicked off. Thank you. Mahalo, dude. Have a good day. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys.